Thank you, Jessica, CAI, and the great IT professional. It is my pleasure to share with you today what I hope are some insightful ways to overcome the challenges of doing Agile well at the enterprise level. The Scaled Agile Framework, SAFe for short, has realized widespread adoption by organizations desiring to, accelerate product delivery without sacrificing quality. The alignment of product vision, business value, and development velocity is a key contributor to successful large-scale Agile development. I will present how top-down, scope-based estimation techniques can be used to model the relationship between vision, value, and velocity at different levels of the framework and stages of implementation to guide release planning and management decisions. I want to talk about the importance of aligning, what I just said were these three main keys. They're all terms used in SAFe. An enterprise's ability to align these three key contributors to successful product development lies in the definition of these terms. So what is vision? Well, it's the product vision, an image painted in words and pictures preferably of both the features and the benefits that will inspire the teams at every level and keep everyone working toward the same goal. The details are borne out in the product roadmap. Value. I mentioned benefits as part of the vision. Let's consider something outside of software development, the Tesla automobile. A couple of benefits of that is it's energy efficient. It is energy efficient and it's ecology friendly. Value, then, is an economic measure of the benefits, perhaps CO2 emissions per parts per million or gallons of gas not used for the Tesla. Velocity, simply development speed. Well, actually, it's not simple at all. Efficiency is perhaps a better term, and what affects it, both positively and negatively, is a topic that I'll be addressing. I picked this vision graphic from LinkedIn, actually, because it shows the power of vision to influence, arrows pointing out. At the same time, the vision is itself influenced, changed, by everything that is discovered during the development process, arrows pointing in. The product takes shape as development progresses, for the better, we hope. And embracing change in order to produce the best value is a major principle of Agile. The challenge for large organizations using SAFe is to keep these three drivers, vision, value, and velocity, aligned and relevant and tied together as large epics are broken down into features and stories, those smaller chunks of the vision at different levels of the framework. And then the actual realized value is aggregated back up into a consumable solution. I don't want to assume that everyone attending this webinar is familiar with the Scaled Agile Framework, so I borrowed some images and descriptions from their abstracts and website to describe SAFe patterns that specifically tie to top-down scope-based estimation. Agile methods and practices at the team level, the lower level down at the bottom, are well understood. Scaling Agile, however, can be quite challenging. There are other methods for scaling Agile, including DAD or DAD and LESS, LESS. I chose to learn more about SAFe and become a certified person to lead SAFe because some of our customers are implementing, and I see and estimate how that estimation specifically supports some of these key principles. SAFe is a freely revealed knowledge base of integrated proven patterns for enterprise lean agile development. This is a diagram here of SAFe version 3.0 that added this layer right here, if you can see my cursor, where it says the Agile Release Train at the solution level or the value stream level. So some of the key components that you see here on the diagram are the Agile teams that are working down at the bottom, the program level, the value stream level, if an enterprise is large enough to have that, and then the portfolio level. And some common themes, of course, across all of these are the different roles. There's product owner, and there's product managers, and program and portfolio managers, all the way up the levels of the organization. And see here the use of the word vision here at the value stream level. Another important key concept is, of course, the product backlog, and again, that exists at all of the various levels and must be managed, and maybe in similar ways or maybe in slightly different ways. Kanban versus sprint, for example. And then the last thing I'd like to point out is the cadence indicated by these yellow lines here, and particularly the notion of the program increment, which I'll be addressing later on. QSM has several customers and prospects that say they don't need to estimate because they're moving to Agile. We at QSM know that top-down estimation still plays a very important role. And so in fact, I just attended a Scrub Alliance webinar on collaborating at scale, where they spent a good bit of time talking about estimation. And there were 1,200 participants. That tells me that there's a need to understand how to estimate and plan large-scale systems development. So I've listed the SAFE principles directly supported by top-down estimation, some of which we'll explore in detail on coming slides. So this, again, I'll walk through this list, but some of these we'll address in more detail. And then towards the end of the presentation, I'll be showing you an example that I've worked out. Size, delivered, functionality, epics, features, and stories. Here, size is a verb. We need to size the delivered functionality, meaning the size of delivered functionality needs to be measured. The time and effort are a function of the size of the product or system. Early in development, when we define the epics, and then they're broken out into the features, capabilities, and stories, and all of these use story points as a size unit. So size is a key measuring size is a key practice. Taking a systems view. We believe this notion applies not only to the system itself, but to the development system. Having a system view of the entire development process is critical as well. And that's exactly what top-down estimation provides, a view of the development life cycle itself. We want to base forecasting commitments on known capabilities and resource availability. SAFE acknowledges the need to forecast and commit to no more than what we know we're capable of. And where would that come from? Well, from history. And that not only do we need to anticipate and plan for the number of resources required, but that the teams have the right skills mix. Quality matters. Estimates must include a forecast of the product quality at every level of the framework. Being able to predict the expected defects and track the removal is the true measure of done. And this is a feature of top-down estimation. Working software is the primary measure of progress. Measure the actual size delivered at the end of each sprint and program increment. This, plus measures of the actual velocity and efficiency, are the basis of the new forecast. There is an initial estimate and forecast as developed, and then it's updated as forecast as the development progresses with these actual numbers.